Hi everyone, it's Richard at Altfins. Today I want to review an interesting trade setup and investment setup with a project named CRV, symbol CRV. You probably have heard of it if you've dug into DeFi at all, because it is one of the top rated DeFi projects and the top used DeFi projects. And it's been around since January 2020. So it's not new. It's certainly within the top 100 market cap projects, but it's been steadily climbing the ranking, and the chart looks really good for a pending breakout. I found it when I went to our platform on Signal Summary, a very simple, predefined filter that I recommend you check out once in a while. Under the trend and momentum section, we have a section or predefined filters called strong up or strong downtrend if you're looking for coins in the downtrend. The first row here is looks at all three time horizons: short term, medium, and long term. But if you just want coins in the uptrend on the short term or medium on the long term, you can click on these numbers here. But I clicked on the 75 coins that are in a strong uptrend across all three time horizons: short, medium, and long term. As you can see now, the filter definition appears here on the top. And as I look through the list, some or most of these names, at least in the top 10, are familiar names. A lot of them are layer 1 protocols that are competing or alternatives to Ethereum protocol, because the on-chain transactions on Ethereum are so expensive. Other alternatives have emerged that compete with Ethereum, like Terra Luna, Avalanche, Polygon, or Matic. Near protocol, same thing. Helium, we've got Rose. So a lot of level 1, L1 protocols are still in a very strong uptrend, as the opportunity for them continues to expand because of the, like I said, expensive on-chain gas fees on Ethereum. But that's not the point of this discussion. Is that I noticed that there was another project that many of us are familiar with, is CRV or CRV. And that surprised me because that project's been around for a while. So I looked at the chart here, and let's look at the candlesticks. Let's see, 6 months or so, right? I mean, just a beautiful trend here. Let's look at the default analytics. Add the MACD indicator that I like. Also add the RSI. Okay. Right, but just a very steady uptrend here, as you can see. Let's also look at 200-day moving average. Right, rising, sloping up, and really almost breaking. Actually, it did break into an all-time high just, I think today, in fact, this candle here, but may not close at that level. Looks like it's going to close down. But let's take a step back before we get into more technical analysis. Let's get into and dig into the fundamentals. This is something that we shared with our subscribers about a week ago, but it's still relevant today. But if you do want to get an early heads up on these types of trade setups and fundamental analyses, do look at our subscription plans. But so what is CRV? If you're not familiar with it, just very quickly, CRV is, as I mentioned, a top DeFi platform, and it's used primarily for swapping large quantities of stablecoins. So swapping USDT for USDC, or swapping WBTC for RenBTC, wrapped Bitcoin for RenBitcoin. So that's primarily what it's used for. It's really good with minimal slippage, and since then, since the launch in January 2020, It's expanded for swapping other non-stable coin pairs as well. So it's got about 40 or over 40 pairs for swapping now, but still primarily it is used for swapping stable coins. Here is what it looks like. It looks very just quirky and not really new age, but that's kind of the idea of the design. It's very simple, but very powerful. And in fact, if you look at the total, it transacts about 6 billion in monthly volume of transactions, which is quite a big number, and it has achieved recently the highest total value locked among all the DeFi or decentralized exchanges, essentially is what it is, with the likes of Uniswap, SushiSwap, and others. As you can see, this dark blue or purple line is the total value locked on Curve protocol. It reached at one point, I think, 19 billion. It's pulled back slightly, but it's still number one protocol or platform in terms of total value locked. What does that mean? It means that users who are contributing liquidity, in other words called also liquidity providers, have locked in this much amount of capital on this platform, and they're earning fees from each transaction, from each swap that happens on the platform. The liquidity providers earn fees. They also, in return, get governance rights to influence the evolvement or development of the platform, but also how the fees are distributed. And so that's actually a very important point in a minute. But if you look at that chart again, what struck me really is that it really took off around May of 2021, right? It was trending up, but really took off at that point. And so when we dug into that, we learned that one of the primary drivers of the total value locked, and as well as the price, is really the fact that another project called Convex Finance launched in May 2021. And what it does, it essentially boosts rewards for users who lock up their Curve or CRV tokens. And by doing that, it made it more interesting for more users to lock up their tokens and to also contribute capital to the Curve swapping protocol or platform. And that's what caused the TVL, the total value locked, accelerate from that date on. But also what's happening is that the liquidity providers are locking up the CRV tokens that they're receiving, more and more of them. In fact, we found out at about 50% of the total supply of CRV tokens are locked up for almost 3.6 years on average. And so what that means is that the supply of CRV tokens in the circulation is declining, which is obviously driving the price up as well. So this will continue, I think, to drive the price just fundamentally higher. Moreover, on top of that, we also mentioned in this write-up, which we sent, as I said, to subscribers about a week ago, we mentioned that another potential supply reduction shock could be coming in the form of a project called Redacted Cartel. And what this is, it's a DAO, it's a decentralized autonomous organization. It's basically a bunch of users, thousands of users, ganging up or partnering and contributing capital with the sole purpose of buying up more Curve tokens, CRV tokens, to almost essentially, I see it almost like a corporate raider organization. They want to raid it, they want to buy it up to take control of it and take the control of the governance and have the right, the power to determine how the fees from the platform are distributed, right? And so they've already raised $76 million. It's not a tremendous amount, but they continue to raise more and more to make this sort of a attack or buy up of the CRV tokens happen. And so that could further reduce the supply of tokens in circulation and drive the price higher. So fundamentally, now that we understand the fundamental drivers behind it, and I think drivers that will continue to favorably impact the price, we can now look at the technical analysis and find a good entry point. And so what we see is obviously a clear uptrend across all three time horizons, as I mentioned, short-term, medium, and long-term. And we see that the price had reached around $6.40 about a month ago. Then it pulled back, got rejected. There was a lot of selling. The market also pulled back at the time. And now it's rebounded back to those levels, and it's attacking that all-time high of $6.40 or so cents. So my entry point here is to wait for this breakout. If it does break above and close above $6.50, I think then from there on we're going to make some new highs, easy, $7-8 from here on, or even higher. And so that will be my entry point. If I look at the momentum right now, it's actually crossed. It's actually sort of almost crossed to a sell, not quite. It's bounced off a little bit. We might see sort of momentum rebound from here. These levels, we'll see. But more than anything, I'm waiting for that all-time high to be surpassed as an indication that the buyers have finally soaked up all the supply from the sellers and have pushed finally the price above that resistance zone, and that the price is likely to continue to go higher from there on. So big heads up on this one. If you want to keep an eye on it, I suggest that you also create an alert. So here's how you do it. I'll open up another coin tab, create a quick filter that says I want to monitor CRV. That's my coin. I'll add it to the filter, and I want to be alerted when the price is above $6.50. We said that's the resistance level, right? Done. Click on the alert button, and I'll give it a name, CRV above 650 buy. Okay, and now I have an alert, and it's under my alerts here, and so that way I can stay on top of some of these opportunities. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this segment. If you do, certainly subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notified among the first of future such updates and reports. And if you want to get really early heads up, I suggest you take a look at our subscription plans for Alfin's platform. Have a great day and good luck trading. Thank you.